In this video, I will reveal one of the best, if not the best strategy I have developed so far for Bitcoin. I tested this strategy on the last 4 years of price data with a realistic fee 0.1% per trade, and it made over 1000% net profit. Just for comparison, Bitcoin only made 350% gain in the same period. But that's not all. This strategy is profitable on every single time frame from 5 minutes to 4 hours, and it also works on many other crypto assets. This makes this strategy a truly special one with high potential to perform great in the future, and when I say that, I mean it. Throughout the last 3 years, I tested hundreds and developed dozens of strategies, and I can say that this one is in the top 3. I know it sounds too good to be true, but trust me, it is true, and I will prove it too. So with that said, make sure to watch the full video and save it somewhere, as you don't want to lose this gem. In this video, I will show you all the indicators needed and the rules of this strategy. I will also tell you how you can turn this into a trading bot, and finally the best assets I found with backtest equity curves. Without wasting any time, hello everyone and welcome to Trade Smart. Let's get right into it. A brief backstory of how this strategy was born. Previously we made a video series in which we attempted to find the best indicators for different purposes. In that series, after testing dozens of indicators, hundreds of thousands times, we found out that super trend is the ultimate best entry signal indicator and that the simple moving average crossover is the best exit signal indicator out there. So what I did, I pulled up one of our premium scripts that is made specifically for that series, and it includes our best entry and exit signal indicators. Then I started optimizing, and finally after a week I found this combination. So let's get started. For this strategy, first of all, open up TradingView and set up the BTC USDT 30-minute chart. Once you got that, head over to the Indicators tab and let's set our indicators. For this strategy, our entry signal indicator, as I said earlier, will be the super trend. Add this one to your chart. The super trend is an easy-to-use indicator. It simply prints buy and sell signals on the chart. Buy means enter into a long, and sell means enter into a short. Next up, let's set our exit signal indicator, which will be an MA crossover. For that we will use 2 EMAs and add this one to your chart. Once you add it, the 2 EMA cross will look something like this. This indicator has a fast moving EMA and a slow moving EMA, so basically this is a combination of 2 EMAs in one indicator. As you can see, there are times where the fast moving average crosses above the slow moving average. Cross-up like this usually signals that the trend is changing from downtrend to uptrend, and it might be a good idea to enter into a long or to exit from your previous short positions. Next up, for this strategy we will be using 2 different filters. The first one, for trend filter, we will be using one of the best baseline indicators that we found when we did the best strategy series, and that is the smoothed moving average. So type in smoothed moving average and add this one to your chart. The smoothed moving average is a simple line, which moves similarly to the EMA, but somewhat different. In this strategy, we can only enter into long if the price is above this smoothed moving average, or SMA, and we can only enter short positions if the price is below it. Moving on, our final filter is one of my favorites, the WADA ATAR explosion. So add this one to your chart. And on the chart it will look something like this. The WADA ATAR indicator uses volume and volatility to measure the current market sentiment. If the volume and volatility is high, the bars will be big. If the volume and volatility shows an uptrend, then the bars will be green or dark green. Dark green signals a strong uptrend, and light green signals a moderate uptrend or a pullback in an uptrend. Opposite coloring method goes for shorts. This indicator also has 2 lines, which are the dead zone, this yellow one on the bottom, and the explosion, the white one here. Generally, when using this indicator, we want the bars to be above both of these lines to signal a strong trend. And finally, but not least, let's add our stop loss indicator. If you've been following us for a while, you know what's coming, the NNFX ATR. Add this one to your chart. The NNFX ATR is a stop loss indicator that uses the ATR, or the average true range, to display optimal stop loss points. As this is a long only strategy, I set up this indicator to only display stop losses for long positions. On the chart it should look something like this. Each time we enter into a position, we will put our stop loss to that yellow line right there. Okay, now we have all of our indicators on the chart, but we need to change some settings to get the best results. So let's go over the indicators one by one. Let's start off with the super trend. For the super trend, I am using a 20 ATR period, the source is HL2, and the ATR multiplier is 2.5. In the style section, I unticked everything except the buy and sell signals, as we will only need those two. Moving on, the exit signal indicator, or EMA crossover. Here I am using a 30 length EMA for the fast EMA and the 350 length EMA for the slow EMA. I am using a source of HLC3 for both of these. I also turned off the filter as we won't need that. In the style section, I changed the slow EMA to yellow and the fast EMA to red. This way we can see them easily. Next up, our first filter, the trendline filter, the SMMA. With the SMMA, I am using a 250 length and again an HLC3 source. Next up, our last filter, the Wada explosion. I am using a 350 sensitivity, a 20 length fast EMA, a 200 length slow EMA, a 150 Bollinger Band channel length, and a 3 Bollinger Band multiplier. In the style section, I changed the dead zone line to yellow and the explosion line to white. And finally, our stop loss indicator, the NNFX ATR. I changed the X value, which is the ATR length, to 75, and the SL value, which is the stop loss distance or ATR multiplier, to 3.5. In the style section, I unticked every box except the buy SL, which means long stop losses. I also changed this color to yellow, but as we already have a yellow line on the chart, let's choose for example blue. Besides that, I changed the line style to step line. This way it's easier to see where to exactly put the stop losses. Okay, now we have the full strategy set up and can start discussing the long entry criteria and other rules. Here is our premium scripts that I used to create this strategy with. You should know that I am using a 0.1% commission rate, which is the typical commission rate for Binance and Bybit, the two largest crypto exchange. I am also using a 2-tick slippage, and for the position sizing, I will be using a 4% risk per trade non-compounding position sizing. Also, you can notice that I am only allowing long entries for this strategy. For now, don't worry about this script, you don't need this for this strategy, it's just a tool for me to visualize, backtest and optimize strategies. Okay, here we have a valid long entry signal. For a valid long entry signal, first of all, the price needs to be above the 200 length SMMA, which is this white line. Then we need to see a buy signal printed by the super trend indicator. After that, on the Wada indicator, the bar on the entry signal indicator needs to be above both the dead zone line, which is this yellow line, and the explosion line, which is this white line. And as you can see, it is above, and all the other criteria are met for a long entry. But there is one extra rule. With this strategy, and with most of my other crypto strategies, I don't recommend trading on Saturdays and Sundays. 90% of the time I found that trading on the weekends leads to more losing trades than winning trades. So with this strategy we will use that same exact rule. As you can see, this entry signal occurred on Wednesday, so not on the weekend. Entry level will be at the close of the signal candle or at the open of the next candle. Stop loss will be placed at the NNFX ATR indicator, right there. And with this strategy, we won't have a fixed take profit target. Instead, we will exit the position either if the stop loss gets hit, or if our exit signal indicator gives a long exit signal. A long exit signal is when the fast EMA, which is this red line, crosses under the slow EMA, which is this yellow line. And that occurred right there. So we would have exited the position at the close of this candle or at the open of the next candle. And here, as you can see, our script exited it on the next candle's open. Okay, I hope everything is clear. You now know all the indicators needed, their settings, and the entry and exit rules. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comment section. Now let me show you how great this strategy really is by going through some backtest results. Okay, here you can see the results for the BTC USDT 30-minute chart. Keep in mind, I am using a realistic 0.1% fee with a 2-tick slippage. Also, the position sizing is a 4% risk per trade non-compounding setup. Here you can see the backtesting time interval. I set it to a 4-year time window, starting from the 19th of January 2020 until today. During this time period, the strategy took 132 trades and generated a whopping 1052% net profit. As you can see, the win rate is not big, but for a profitable strategy, it doesn't need to be. If the strategy catches huge moves, then it will make up for all of those small losses that happens throughout this period. The profit factor is amazing, 4.061, and the max drawdown is great too, with only 17.82%. I'm comfortable with anything lower than 20%. If you want deeper insights, here is the performance summary. Let me show you one simple modification, which you might already have in mind. What if I change from non-compounding position sizing setup to compounding? That should make the strategy better, right? Let's see. I change it to risk percentage current, which means that the strategy always uses the latest capital balance, so it is a compounding setup. Let's generate the trades. Here are the results. Well, as you can see, with a compounding setup, the $1,000 net profit quickly turned into 30,790% net profit, which is a huge difference. Of course, with that we usually get a higher drawdown, but a 40% isn't that big compared to this net profit. Now you can't even see the buy and hold equity curve of Bitcoin, which should be this blue line. You can trade this strategy manually, but monitoring the signals all day is time-consuming, stressful, and probably impossible. So that's why we turned this strategy into a single TradingView strategy script, which is highly customizable and gives you entry and exit signals. And the best part, it can be turned into a fully automated trading bot. By turning this strategy into a trading bot, it doesn't matter if you are at work, sleeping, or hanging out with your friends and family, our script will trade for you all day long on autopilot. So, if you want to get access to the full TradingView script and automate this strategy, head over to our Patreon and become a Smart Trader tier member. By becoming a member, you will get access to all of our premium TradingView scripts and optimizations, and to the Discord server where you can talk with other like-minded people or with us, the TradeSmart team. These scripts have the ability to be connected to your broker or exchange with a third-party service like 3, Wonder Trading or Pine Connector. Once connected and set up correctly, our scripts will send entry and exit signals to your broker each time it enters or exits a trade. Your broker then receives those signals and enters or exits in and out of trades with real money. Besides that, as a bonus, from now on you will also get access to our recently launched 1K to 10K crypto investing challenge, where we analyze hundreds of cryptocurrencies to find the best ones with the highest potential and attempt to turn a $1,000 portfolio into $10,000. In this challenge, I post all my research, useful websites, my limit orders, my trades, and so much more. So if you are interested, the link to our Patreon is down in the description, and don't worry, if you don't like our scripts and services, we have a 2-week money-back guarantee. But let's switch back to the normal position sizing. I just wanted to quickly show you that these results are achievable. Now let's see how this strategy performs on other time frames. First, the 15-minute. As you can see, with a non-compounding position sizing, this strategy still outperforms the Bitcoin buy and hold, which is this blue line. We have almost 300 trades with a 650% net profit, with 1.6 profit factor, and with a pretty high 44% max drawdown. You can decrease this value by decreasing the position sizing size, so you can change it from 4% per trade to 2 or 1%. Moving on, the 10-minute. Surprisingly, the 10-minute performs even better than the 50-minute. Now we got 429 trades with a 916% net profit, 21% win rate, 1.6 profit factor, and with 44% maximum drawdown. The equity curve well outperforms the Bitcoin buy and hold, which is this blue line. And what I love about this strategy is that when Bitcoin is in a bear market, the strategy is barely trending down, it stays around the sideways. Now let's see the lowest time frame, which is profitable with this strategy, the 5-minute. Here, as you can see, the strategy is not as good as on the higher time frames. It basically ended up with the buy and hold slightly above it. So I wouldn't trade the 5-minute chart. The best time frame if you want to trade the low time frames is the 10-minute. I have to mention that this strategy was developed on the 30-minute, so that's the most stable in my opinion. But now let's see the higher time frames. First, the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, we got 77 trades and the strategy made 576% net profit. We had a 24% win rate with a 3.5 profit factor, which is great, and only a 22% maximum drawdown, which is also decent. The strategy again outperformed Bitcoin buy and hold, but the 30-minute gave better results. Now let's see the 2 hour. Now we got only 40 trades with 447% net profit, 5 profit factor, which is very high, and only 30% drawdown. The 4 hour. Now we only got 18 trades and 366% net profit, but the strategy still outperforms Bitcoin. And if you take a look at the maximum drawdown, it is only 7.6%, so using on the 4-hour chart, we could increase the position sizing from 4% risk per trade to, for example, 10%, which sounds high, but as you can see, it works with this strategy. To close out this video, let me show you a few other assets that this strategy also works on. While going through the profitable assets, let me share a few tips and findings for this strategy. I found that you can improve the performance of this strategy by using higher risk per trade and the compounding position sizing. By compounding position sizing, I mean that you reinvest all of your profits that you made earlier. Also, you can improve the performance by increasing or decreasing the stop loss distance. By decreasing it, the profit will get bigger, but the drawdown too. By increasing it, the profits will get smaller, but the drawdown too. For me personally, on the BTC USDT 30-minute chart, the sweet spot is a 3.5 times ATR distance stop loss with a 4% risk per trade non-compounding setup. As you can see, this strategy works on multiple assets and timeframes, which is always a good sign. If a strategy works on multiple assets, it can indicate that the strategy is robust, not overfitted, and has high potential to perform good in live trading. But of course, this is not financial advice, I am not a financial advisor, past performance does not guarantee future results. One other thing I also noticed is that this strategy catches basically every single rapid pump in Bitcoin successfully and makes huge gains on those pumps. But when Bitcoin is sideways or slowly trending up, the strategy's equity curve is mainly trending sideways or slightly down. So what I can see, there's still room for improvement. Well, what do you think of this strategy? If you want me to dive deeper and maybe attempt to improve it even more, let me know in the comment section. Link to our Patreon where you can get access to the trading bot version of this strategy and links to other useful videos are down in the description. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss our upcoming content. And that wraps up today's video. If you are interested in our new 1k to 10k crypto challenge, check out this playlist. And with that, as always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day, and until next time, trade smart!